Lawmakers in one part of the tri-state tonight are debating if people can essentially determine when they'll die.
Assisted suicide is legal in some states, largely on the coast. It's never had much of a chance in this part of the country, but Tessa DeTiro found out that could be changing, right, Tessa?
That's right, Paula. The Indiana-based bill is on Oregon's Death with Dignity Act. It would make it legal for patients with terminal illnesses to choose to end their own lives. Tonight, the bill's author says a lot of people have contacted him wanting the right to choose, but nurses in the industry think when people are at the end of their lives, they're anxious and emotional and might make rash decisions. At the end of their lives, these Loving Hearts Hospice patients experience something new, like holding a goat and shooting a gun.
I get to go in and meet all kinds of people, all kinds of families, be with them in the most vulnerable, sometimes super difficult times, and ease a lot of their fears.
Nurse practitioner Mary Hara says her patients often live longer than doctors told them they would.
Most people have this extraordinary need to want to stay alive. Most people don't want to take their own life. They want to do everything they can to stay alive.
Indiana State Rep Matt Pierce says his bill gives control and dignity to dying patients.
The first thing is when you make this request in writing, you have to have two disinterested witnesses, can't be family members or people who might inherit somebody's money or something. They have to attest that the patient is competent, they're acting voluntarily, and they're not being coerced.
After the first request, there is a mandatory 15-day waiting period and another discussion with the doctor. If approved, the patient would have to give themselves the medication. The bill allows for doctors and nurses to opt out with no professional penalties.
I know that we have nurses on our team that would not be comfortable with it. I don't think that our medical director would be comfortable with it, so it would be a matter of finding somebody to help them at that time.
Pierce thinks people shy away from the idea because they're uncomfortable with the topic.
To begin to have discussions about what would you want to do or what could we do if you had a terminal disease that's going to really rob you of your dignity before you actually do pass away. That's something that people don't really want to think about too much.
The criteria for approval would be you need to be 18 years old, an Indiana resident, diagnosed with a terminal illness, of sound mind, and voluntarily wish to receive medical aid in dying. This is currently legal in 7 states and Washington, D.C. Paula.
All right, thank you, Tessa. Representative Pierce has introduced a similar bill in the past. Even he thinks passing it is a long shot.